Hey everyone, Lauren Wild, the Church Witch here. I just wanted to do a quick reading of the Mystic Musings. This is from Kim Cran's new deck, the Archetypes. And so my my time is short because it's the holidays, as well as this. I've never really used this deck very much before, and I thought that it would be best just to read the entire transmission so that you would get a more accurate reading of it, because I don't know it super great, and it also helps me learn it. So hopefully you have already picked your card, whether it is the left, the center, or the right, and let's go ahead and dive in. So if you chose the left, the archetype that you are working with, the two archetypes that you're working with this week are the Venom and then the Thread, okay? So these two play off of each other. They're a little different than like tarot cards. So when I read them, I'll help you alchemize the energy, okay? If you chose the center, it's Apocalypsis and the Warrior, okay? And then if you chose the right, you have the Tear and the Healer, okay? So one informs the other, all right? So whichever one pulls deeper for you is where you're going to start, okay? So the Venom, which is to the left, is the poison, the curse, the toxin. Much to our dismay, the venom is always lurking in the shadows in one form or another. Its toxic presence may be found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it's built into our every exhale. We breathe out carbon dioxide and the plants return it to us as oxygen. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily. However, it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and to the world. When the Venom cards appears, there is a harmful substance in our psychic realm that we must identify. Perhaps your words have a sting of poison about them. Perhaps the relationship is slowly draining your reserves. Acknowledgement is the first step. The second is change. The remedy will reveal itself in time and with forgiveness. Okay, so what it's help to answer that energy is the Thread. Okay. Okay, so the Thread. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously, leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the Thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the Thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives, if we are connected to the Thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. Okay, so it's the path, the vein, the circuit. Binding, frustrating, taut. So this is like what we do is what we alchemize the energy of poison, something having like this hold on you. And then the Thread, it's about locating the storylines. It's about locating the wounds. It's about locating the pieces, right? Because life is in a tangle. So it's in this big knot. And so many times what we want to do is just take scissors and cut the whole damn thing so the whole thing falls apart. And what this is saying is that that's not helpful, actually. You're looking for one vein. You're looking for one storyline. You're looking for the circuit and the path that is leading to this venom. So this is about, if you chose the left, the way that my channel is reading it is about recalling maybe a moment or a wound and then trying to follow it back to where it came from. And that's where the venom is. And that's the thing that you are working to highlight during the solar eclipse that's happening tomorrow night with the new moon in Capricorn. Okay, so if you chose the center, you got Apocalypsis, and the clarifier is the Warrior, okay? So the Apocalypsis it's right here. Where did it go? This thing is also very confusing. So if I have to scroll back around, forgive me. Removing the veil of deception. Apocalypsis indicates a particularly painful time, one that unfolds when two desperate dynamics occur simultaneously, pulling the psyche in seemingly opposite direction. The first is the lifting of the veil. This means truths that have been kept in the dark are revealed, seen, and unearthed. No matter how relieving it is to witness them come into the light, an element of despair and grief follows. The second dynamic is the regeneration that comes from the wreckage of the revealed truth. The old narrative breaks and the new story forms. Apocalypsis energy is similar to a forest fire, devastation for the sake of regeneration. The veil lifts and we see who and what has been hiding. From the nakedness of truth, a child is born. Have faith in the process. Hold on to your center. This is the only way. Okay, so this is so Pluto, Scorpio energy. You know, like this is literally like what happens when you do shadow work. Is first you have to name it and then you can heal it. And the piece that goes with it is the warrior. Okay, this is the card that I pulled for the new year, which is cool. If I can find it. Almost. I had all the pieces and then they fell out. Almost. There you are. Okay. The samurai, the soldier, the advocate. We often envision the warrior as an armored figure with a sword in hand, moving blindly towards battle. Yet the deeper aspect of this archetype brings us face to face with death itself. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death, trusting the eternal to guide the sword's blade. The warrior's work requires presence, alignment, and purpose. And if and when the warrior loses center, meaningless confrontations and violence are the default response. When this card appears, it's important to question the battle at hand. It is likely a great one, with deep roots and long-standing tensions. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles, so choose wisely, brave one. As you draw your sword, realign with the eternal wisdom within, then surrender to the battle. Okay, so if I was going to alchemize this is my reading. You can take what you need and leave the rest. This is about recognizing the wars won and lost in 2019. This is about the shadow. 2019 was the crumbling, right? It was all about shadow work on the collective level as well as the individual level. And so what I would say is that you need to be mindful about what you're warring against, right? During this eclipse season is recognize what you're warring against, making sure that you're staying in alignment with presence and purpose and love, and not getting so tied up in the corrosive shadow and the darkness that can overtake us, because shadow is medicine. You just don't stay there, you know, like you just don't stay there. Not in this realm. You can stay there for periods of time for it to teach you and heal you and show you how to teach and heal others. But you know, what you're trying to do is come back out of it. So this is about recognizing that you are the advocate for yourself. You need to step back into fierce clarity, purposeful action, resolve, and resilience, because otherwise it moves to threats, savagery, abandonment of mission and values. So the Bhagavad Gita is the required or the suggested reading, okay? All right, so if you chose the right, then you got the tear, and what's underneath it is the healer. So the tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often the tear is what's needed in order for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we're reminded of their eternal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It is likely that this card appears when there is grieving yet to do, sinking down into disappointment or despair that once acknowledged will bring a shimmer of clarity to our dewy eyes. And what's underneath it is the healer. And this card is all about recognizing that whatever you've experienced, you know, it's that healer archetype. It's recognizing that from your wounds you heal. And as you were once wounded, you will help other people begin to come out of their brokenness, perceived brokenness, that is, and help them recover. So I just pulled the healer the other day, and where is it? There you are. Of course, 111. So the light worker, the gifted, the old soul. though some may claim that it is like a dark aspect, it's about moving through the comfort of forgetting and veils of ignorance into truth. Okay. So this is all about waking up and being grateful for the practice that is the work, right? Like that is the work. All right, guys, I hope that this served you well, and I will catch you on the other side. Okay, bye.